You want a big, beautiful garden and you expect that it's going to happen, but that's not always the case. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott, and I discuss everything gardening so that you can become a better gardener. Today's topic is planning for your garden success. Even the most pragmatic gardener does not begin the season anticipating absolute failure. Those of us that have been doing this for a while know that failure is going to happen. There are those unexpected events from the weather or a pest that we didn't even know existed when we started growing. But we also know that there are things that we can do to help promote success. There's things we can plan for and prepare for so that when some of those unexpected events happen, we're ready. And more importantly, it's planning for when everything goes right. Because sometimes just being prepared, like the Boy Scouts say, is the most important thing. I've been planning for the upcoming growing season for quite a while, and those of you that have been watching my videos regularly have seen some of those planning processes, and I still have more to do. I'm sitting in front of my fire today because I can't be outside. It's another cold, windy, wintry day with snow. In years past, I've been outside at this time of year preparing beds, building new beds, and getting ready. And that's what I want to be doing, but I just can't. So I'm inside, and I'm pursuing more of the preparations for this upcoming season. Have you heard the expression that if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail? Well, I think that's very true in the garden because there are so many correct steps that need to take place to get to end of season success that if any of those things fall out, we probably won't have that success. I'm planning on growing a lot of flowers this year in my new garden for many reasons. And I've already got most of the seeds. So I'm starting to look at the seed packets. And almost every one of them so far says that I can direct sow outside just before or just after the last frost date. And it's easy to assume that all of my flower seeds follow that same pattern. But you probably know what happens when you assume. Because you find a package like this Liatris, it's a prairie blazing star, and I've had some success with it in the past. But when I read the seed packet, it tells me that seed germination is increased by a 30-day cold treatment. And then it tells me that I should put it on a wet paper towel inside a plastic bag in my refrigerator for at least 30 days. That's cold stratification. If I hadn't read the seed packet and prepared for what I was going to do with this particular flower, I wouldn't have been able to grow it this year. Or if I did try to grow it, the seeds might not have germinated. So on cold, snowy days like this is what I'm doing. I'm going through all of my seeds. I'm planning for how all of my plants are going to grow. And if there's something I don't know about, I learn more about it so that I can be prepared to have that success. If you haven't done it yet, you need to develop a garden plan. A plan for the entire growing season. And part of it is the physical plan, where you're going to put your individual beds and where you're going to put the plants within those beds. But more of it is the process, all of those steps that need to take place to get to the success at the end of the season. It begins by asking yourself, why? Why are you gardening this year? If you're brand new and you've decided that you just want one little bed, that's great. Your why becomes, I want to see if I can do it and have success. It's quite simplistic. Or maybe you want to feed your family or sell at a farmer's market like I plan to do. Everybody's why is different, and your why can change over the course of the season. But you have to know why you're gardening, because that will determine a lot of the other factors. That will determine your plant selection. What plants do you want to grow to meet that particular goal that you have set? The plants you choose have individual requirements. So you have to learn about those requirements for every single individual plant, because every plant has a different need as far as fertilizer and water and sun and soil pH. You may want to grow blueberries, and at the end of the season you find out that your blueberry plants just didn't grow. Well, maybe your soil has a very high pH level. Blueberries require a low pH soil level. If you didn't check on that ahead of time, you might try to grow blueberries for years with no success. Now's the time of year that I spend time figuring out why I want to do it, what I'm going to grow, all the information associated with those plants, so that a flower like the liatris, I know what to do ahead of time so that I don't set myself up for failure. As you figure out your garden plan, think both short-term and long-term. Now, long-term can be just to the end of the season. What do you expect to have your harvest look like? And for me, I plan to have a pretty substantial harvest because I'll be growing in a lot of beds and I'll be adding a lot of new perennials and trees. But there's a lot of short-term needs that should be met before I get to that point. Part of it is the seed review, like I've already been doing. But another part of it is ordering some of those plants. I've already ordered all of my fruit trees. Why? Because in the past, when I ordered fruit trees, after doing the research of finding what would work in my particular region, I found out a lot of them were sold out. And I had to wait a whole nother year to get that particular tree or fruit bush. I've learned. So this year, short term, I ordered all of my fruit trees, even though it's months before they'll go into the ground. That's one of those pieces that has to fit into place to get that ultimate success. My seed review has given me an idea of what I'll be growing inside and outside, and what I've already started and what I'll be starting soon. When those seedlings are ready to transplant outside, well, they need a place to go. And I haven't built some of those beds yet. I've been waiting for the weather that hasn't been very cooperative. So short term, I need to build beds. But that short term plan keeps shifting as the weather shifts. Those are the kind of things you have to anticipate through the entire growing season. But you can plan for right now. I know that I'm going to build the beds, so I need all of those materials. I know I need to fill those beds with soil. I know I need some fencing to keep the rabbits out. I know I need the seeds and the growing material to be able to transplant the seedlings eventually. All of these different pieces have to be figured out. And this is where you come in, determining your own plan and your schedule for how all of these different short-term decisions will ultimately lead to those long-term plans. There are many other long-term goals besides having a successful season, and you can look at some of those now. So, for instance, you want that big successful harvest. Well, what are you going to do with all of that produce? Have you thought about preserving it? I highly recommend preserving it. But do you know how to can it? Or make jelly, or dehydrate, or pickle? If you don't know how to do those things, learn them now. Because when it gets to the time that you've got pounds and pounds of produce coming into your kitchen, it's probably too late to figure out how to preserve it. And there are many classes being offered in late winter to prepare you for the harvest in late summer. Start looking for some of those and look at videos like some of mine that give you ideas of how to preserve your harvest. Are you planning on selling your produce like maybe a farmer's market? Well, you probably can't just show up with some bushels of produce and expect that they'll let you sell. You need to have a relationship. You might have to go on a waiting list. It's probably going to cost you. You need to find out all of that stuff now, well before you ever get to the point of harvesting and selling. Are you growing to help out the needy in your area? Well, again, sometimes you can't just show up and drop off your fresh produce. It might need to be bagged. There might be specific times that it can be dropped off. Those are the kind of things that you find out well ahead of time. it leads to that ultimate success. And at the end of the season, you can sit back and say, yeah, it worked out, because 6 months before I ever harvested anything, I knew exactly what it was I needed to do. The truth is, success isn't guaranteed, especially in gardening. You have to work for it. You have to develop your plans. You have to figure out your schedules. You have to figure out what works best for you and learn throughout the entire process at every step. And one of the things I've said before that I recommend for helping with learning is to set up a garden journal, so that when I say something that resonates with you, well, you can write it down in your journal as something that you're planning to do. Or you watch another video and they give you a great idea. Put it in your garden journal. And every year as you learn more, keep track of what happened so that you can continue your successes and hopefully reduce some of those failures. Every year I learn more and more. All of us should. And when I look back, I see that every February I plan to do more than I can accomplish because the weather never seems to cooperate. So the solution for me next year is maybe not plan so much in February. Move it to a more reasonable time, and I'll probably have more short-term success. In your particular area, seek out other gardeners who might know more than you to learn about their successes, and that'll help you grow. All of you that have done this before, please put in the comments below some of the things that you've learned when it comes to planning for success, things that you're trying, things that didn't work, because there's a lot of brand new gardeners that are watching my videos and they're looking at the comments. So you might have the opportunity to share your experience with someone else that can really benefit from it. It doesn't have to be all me. I really like it when we're all communicating with each other. Figure out what is best for you when it comes to planning for success, because success is possible. If you have any questions for me about this, please let me know in the comments below. And continue watching the videos, because I plan to give you as much information as I can through the growing season. And be sure to click on the bell so you know when the new videos are coming out. If you like this video, well then please give me a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.